Now verse 1, it was the time when kings went out to battle. David was out of place. He was not where he was supposed to be. He had sent he's the king. He sent his army off, and they're out there doing what he's supposed to be leading in. David's back home. And at evening tide, you see that? Rose from off his bed. He'd been laying around idle in the king's house, while somebody else was doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know, there's no saying that says the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And it's true. David was out of position to start with. And he walked out on, you know, they built those roofs flat and they just have a way out there. It's kind of like our front porch. And he looked over there and saw a woman bathing. Beautiful woman. But he didn't just stop with a glance. David was king. David had wives, and David had concubines, and David had everything, but he didn't have a woman like that. So admiration, he stayed too long in one place looking at the wrong thing, until admiration turned into lust. David, the man after God's own heart. And he sent somebody over there he inquired of them who she was. It wasn't like he didn't know that she was a married woman. He did know. Sent him over there to take Bathsheba. And if you read that story, Bathsheba conceived and called him and told him, came and told him that she was pregnant with his child. And to try to cover up the sin, she had her husband killed. Called him home, trying to cover that thing up, make it look like the child was his. But when that wouldn't work, he had him killed. And David's one act of self-exaltation changed everything in David's life. Not only did the baby die, but David's whole family for the rest of his life was in turmoil. He lost the baby. Bathsheba's grandfather was David's trusted counselor, had been for years. But when he found out what David did, he hated him. And he plotted with David's son, Absalom, how to shame David in the eyes of all Israel, and did so. David forgot for one moment that he was king because God put him there. And he became king because of who David was. Now, he thought nobody would know. He thought nobody's going to notice, but people always know. Somebody always knows, folks. Somebody always notices. See, no ordinary man in the kingdom of Israel would have went over there and took the little man's wife, because they knew it was a capital offense. He got killed, but David said, "I'll get by with it because I'm king." The devil will come and tell you that same thing. Oh, God won't care. You're one of his children. Well, folks, sin will still destroy you. It'll destroy you. He never thought he'd be found out. But look in chapter 12. What the Lord had told him. Verse 9. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with a sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun. He said, you've despised my commandment. David, I guarantee you, David, when this was going on, he didn't think he was despising God's commandment. He thought he was David, the king. And that this would be all right for him if he could just keep it hid. God would overlook it. Didn't work. Didn't work. God said, you despise my commandment. How we need to see things like this. See, God held him responsible because he was king and he knew better. Folks, God holds us responsible when we know better and do it anyway. And do it anyway. He loves us enough that he sent Christ to die for us. But he can't change his word. And he won't change his word, not even for us. We've been called like David into such a high calling. But see, the Bible tells us that from the time that Samuel went out there and anointed David, that he was anointed all his life. But see, he left that anointing to do these awful things. See, the devil took what God had given him. He turned the success of that anointing into a force that almost destroyed David. He turned the success of God's blessing into a force against him that almost destroyed him. Because in a moment, standing on his roof looking at a beautiful woman, David forgot the responsibility that God had placed on him. Paul said we'd been called into a high calling, but he said he pressed for the prize of that high calling. Not having his own righteousness, but the righteousness that came through the faith of Christ. He said our righteousness comes through his faith. And when we through what he's given us, and when we understand, folks, that our righteousness is because he gave it to us, then we'll understand the importance of walking in it. Is all this all right? Responsible to the calling that God has called us into. Don't let the devil tell you that God will overlook things because of who you are. He knows who you are. And he loves you. And he will guide you and give you the strength. In his grace, folks, we have the strength to overcome these things if we choose. See, David could have, when he looked over there and saw Bathsheba, and I know, a lot of folks, you don't want to put on this air. But I guarantee you, every man in this house, if he'd have been up on the rooftop and out of the corner of his eye, there was a beautiful naked woman over there taking a bath, would have looked. That ain't real religious, is it? But it's true. But see, if David had a turn, the thing to do, and it had to hit his mind, the thing to do, if he had a turned and went on about his business, none of this disaster would have happened. None of this disaster would have happened. People say, well, if you thought it, you might as well have done it. What? There'd be a lot of dead people right now. Wouldn't it? There'd been a lot of busted up marriages right now. There'd been a lot of people in prison right now. Years. See, the devil brings the thought. You ain't got, if it's his thought, don't entertain it. Don't entertain it. But David he stayed too long in the wrong place, looking in the wrong direction. and forgot his responsibility. Forgot he was there, not because of him, but because of God. See, we have to understand, folks, we owe all that we have, we owe to him. All we have, we owe to him. We're walking in the pride, in our own exaltation. People does notice. And it does hurt. It hurts. It hurts the kingdom. It hurts the kingdom and it hurts us. Because see, when we confess that we're Christians, and we confess that we're following after Christ, and people see us doing contrary to that confession, to them it's weakness and the power of the cross. Damn Christians ain't got nothing. Brother Vic used to sing a song, "Don't blame it on him." Remember that? You can get down on me, but don't get down on Jesus. Don't blame it on him. But the truth is, the world does get down on Jesus because you're the only Jesus they see. They do get down. So we ought to hold our calling and our responsibility in great esteem. See, Jesus said, talking about the Father, he said, "The reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me." And folks, the reproaches of them that hates the truth falls on you. But folks, when we are caught doing contrary to what we're confessing, they put the reproaches back on him. That there's no power in the cross to keep us walking straight. Somebody has to be an example. It's not enough that we say the right thing. Somebody has to be the example. And he called us all to do that. All of us. He called the Baptists, the Methodists, all of those that are saved. He called us to be examples. And if the world can't see Christ in us, the world can't see Christ. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. This morning we need to strengthen ourselves by getting to that Word, by staying on our face before the Lord, by being more determined than we've ever been. Because there's greater temptation than you ever faced coming down the line. I'd like to tell you that that it's not, but it is. We're living in a world, folks, that's more dangerous than it's ever been. More dangerous. And we're coming to a time when the things that we've so long took for granted is not going to be there. So we are in a preparation time now. What are we going to do if things don't continue like we've known them? We're going to have to be able to do exactly what God wants us to do every day. Is just stand on the truth with no compromise. See, people, we talk about the coming world order, and folks, we're already global. If you don't know we're not already global, you hadn't watched much television or read many newspapers. We're already global. And see, when we talk about the Antichrist when he gets set up here, and don't be here when he comes. But we know that all this is coming. But people will talk about, oh, I won't take that mark. Now, when that gets here now, folks, if it comes down to your eating and you're waiting in your life and you don't know Jesus, you'll take it. You'll take it. If you hadn't been walking after Jesus all the time, you'll take it. And the people that will not submit themselves to Jesus now, that think they're going to submit themselves to Jesus under that, are fooling themselves. But now is the time that you and I must make a difference. Now is the time. that we must make a difference in somebody's life. Starting with ours. Starting with ours. Hallelujah.